Hi, this is Rob Packard from Medical Device Academy. This is a brief video explaining what is contained in the procedure for customer-related processes. That's SYS-007 in our list of procedures that we have on our website. This procedure was recently updated to include a lot of references specifically to ISO 1345-2016. The requirements were in there before, but now we've made it really specific how each of those requirements are met. And Matthew Walker was the one that did the revisions, and he actually went to the trouble of color coding things and putting in the reference to the specific sub clauses. He did everything but put yellow blinking lights on here for the auditor. So when you are going through a certification audit, they should be able to find exactly what they're looking for very quickly. So just to walk you through this briefly, we have a purpose and scope like we have in all our procedures, but here we say what this procedure doesn't do. So there are other requirements for customer related processes that are met by other procedures, such as complaint handling, recalls, and servicing. And then here's where he says it's color coded in blue, any of the requirements that are met for 1345-2016. It's 5.2 and 7.2 are the two clauses in the standard. And here are the related procedures. And then we have this form that I'm going to go through at the end. The primary people that would be responsible for this procedure would be your sales process owner and the quality manager. And if you had customer service, they would also be included in that as well if you have a customer service person. Top management is responsible overall for having a customer communication process and meeting the requirements for customer communication. But customer service and sales are the ones that are actually going to be doing the work here. The key sections that Matthew added were the determination of the customer requirements, a way to document that in the sales order checklist, and then the review of the requirements in the checklist. So he's got two different sections to that sales order checklist that he's created. And so you can see those here in section 1 and section 2. And then in section 3, he's got each of the communication points that are required by the standard. So there are these 4 bullets that are required. The first one's met up above in sections 1 and 2, and then the other bullet points are met by these 3 procedures. And then we've also added a little note down here at the bottom saying if you have any contractual requirements with your certification body, you would add those as well. If you don't have a certification body, you're not CE marked, you would delete that section. And then we have customer contracts. So if you have any customer specific contracts that have additional requirements, this is how you would address those, how you would address sales orders, and we have that sales order confirmation checklist. Then we have how you will monitor and measure the process. So it says here the processes in this procedure are not measured or monitored. That's something that you may want to change. So all the procedures should be monitored and measured according to the ISO standard that's covered in our procedure SYS-017, but we haven't identified specific ones because not all medical device companies have a sales order process that you would really need to monitor. For instance, if you had online sales and you didn't actually weren't taking POs and you weren't having contracts with customers, then you wouldn't need that. If you had software only product, you might not have some of those requirements. But if you do, this would be where you would add it, and you might even have a quality objective you would add in here. So this is a section the companies will probably want to revise. Here's who needs to be trained. Here's how we're using a risk-based approach for this procedure. And then here are the records, but you've got customer files, sales orders, any contracts, and then the sales order checklist. Now I'll go to the sales order checklist. So all the stuff in red is stuff that we had here before, but Matthew's added a lot of detail. He's added he went right through the standard. Here's all the things that you have to determine and document for the requirements of the product. And here's how you sign and date it to document that. And then here is the review of the requirements to make sure that you've met those determined requirements. And then you sign and date it at the bottom. So you've got a 2-page sales order checklist, and then a 5-page procedure that walks you through the requirements. And that's what you get when you purchase this procedure. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. And on our Contact Us page, you can actually schedule meetings as well. Thank you, and hope this procedure was helpful. Bye-bye.